Hello, and welcome to the initial podcast for Mixed Modern Family, My Adventures in Adulting. My name is QJ, and I started this podcast as a response to kind of what I was seeing going on in the world. There's been a lot of different interactions between police officers and citizens of the U.S. here that have been quite disturbing to me. And, rather than go on a Facebook rant or, post some gnarly stuff or, just spew venom to everyone that disagreed with me, I thought about ways in which I could actually take this opportunity to make something good out of this like crapola we've all been dealing with. Um, Mixed Modern Family to me is it's the story of my interpretation of what's going on in the world, and that's a long way to say it's my perspective. It's how I see things. It's my view on the world. I think the ultimate goal of this show for me will be to help provide people with understanding and not just understanding of me, but I want people to think. I think oftentimes we live in these bubbles where thanks to things like social media and our constant desire to like self-fulfill what we want, I think we've become very isolated and we put ourselves in these bubbles where we don't really understand the realities as they are for other people, and we don't understand that my story is not your story and that my experience is not your experience. So what I wanted to do was just kind of dive into that. I want to tell my story. I wanted to tell a story, and I wanted it to not just be about my perspective, but I wanted to provide some other insights from maybe not necessarily an expert, but maybe somebody who doesn't agree with me, but we can have a conversation. And maybe what you can take from that conversation is that, hey, there are more than one side to the story, and both folks do have a valid point. Or maybe you can say, hey, maybe if we stop saying you have a valid point, you have a valid point, and we agree that, hey, we can meet somewhere in the middle, we can get something done. So I also want to say thank you to anybody who like ride or dies with me. And what I mean by that, I want to say thank you to anybody who actually grows with me as I do this show. Because I promise you one thing, I will do my best to give you a professional and a polished product. I will do my best to make sure that this is something that you actually enjoy and is worth your time. And I will do my best to be a student of doing this and to make sure that I'm constantly improving and I'm constantly making this something worth my time and your time, because when you do something like this, you're really putting yourself out there and you're taking a chance. And I think it should not be done half-heartedly, and it should not be done just on a whim. I said this in a prior podcast. Little secret: this isn't my first podcast. This is just the intro. This just the way I had to do it. I don't know why I did it that way, but actually I do know why, because I don't think I wanted the intro to be like the rawest cut. And trust me, it's still going to be pretty raw, but I did not want it to be quite the rawest cut. I wanted it to be just, a part of the growing process. But my point is, this is going to get better. So, why am I doing this? I'm doing this as a response to the chaos I'm seeing around me. I think that people need to all, when I say people, we all need to find a constructive way to help. We need to find a constructive way to contribute to a solution for all, not just those who think what you think, but also those who don't. We need to find a mutual solution. And it can't be as simple as, well, do the right thing and nothing bad will happen to you, because we know that's not true. And if you believe that, I'm sorry, you're probably not a minority, and you probably don't know what harassment, discrimination, racism feels like when it's towards you. You just know the concept, and I respect that. But at the same time, you can't relate. It's just like I can't relate to giving labor. I can't relate. I'm not a woman, and my wife, her experience and my experience in terms of labor were 100% different. Because all I did was say, "How's that gonna come out? I don't get it." oh, and she's like, ah, it's coming. And I'm like, you can do it. Just keep pushing, keep fighting, keep pushing. So I say it's similar to racism. I was going to post this, but I decided not to because my wife said it wasn't very funny. But I was going to say, uh, I think the word fat and racist should be synonymous because whenever you call someone either, they're immediately offended yet have no plans to change any of their personal habits or beliefs. I thought it was hilarious. My wife was like, yeah, you could do better. But back to the why. I wanted this to be my positive response to what's going on in the world. I don't want to spread hate and I don't want to teach my kids hate. I want to teach them love. I want to teach them acceptance. I want to teach them joy. I want to teach them peace. And I think those are a lot of things that people just don't have nowadays. They don't have joy. You got joy? Like, you know, the pastor at our church, he always sings like this old kid song. I got joy, 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 joy. Actually, I don't think it's him. I think it's a CD my kids listen to, and it goes, I got joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy. I could go on and on because I know the song, but it's like I have joy, I have peace, I have love down in my heart today and to stay. And I just do not think that's the case. And so this is my effort to try and spread some of that love, joy, and peace. And I hope it comes through understanding others and accepting others' experience and their truth, while it might not be yours, is still valid. And so, with that, Mixed Modern Family was born. The other reason why this was born is because, I mean, it's not all about. While I do want to, spread a different perspective and tell a different story, my life is not just about all the chaos in this world. I've gone from being a single guy to a dad with children in a minivan and a wife and a mortgage and bills and a job that I have to go to every day. And I just don't know how I feel about all those things. And I know a lot of people are going through the same thing. And if they haven't, they will. And maybe it won't look just the same as me, but I think there are some common threads that we can all relate to. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. And so my show is not all about seriousness and all the sadness. Because the truth of the matter is that you have to find joy in life. You have to find peace. You have to seek these things out. And if you don't, you will be consumed. If you think that I'm not telling the truth, just turn on your TV. Watch the fiction. Listen to the radio. Everything is about doom and gloom and sadness and the end of the world. And I just think the world is better than that. And I think, honestly, the world is what you make it. And finally, why am I doing this? And maybe this isn't finally. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my kids. So often in life, we, say, well, so-and-so, well, grandpa said this, and so-and-so said that, and so-and-so, believed this. Well, I want them to hear it from my mouth directly, in the moment. We're going to talk about current events as they happen. We're going to talk about some of the things that are going on in this world. And I want them to hear it from my mouth. I don't want them to hear it from other people's rendition of telephone of what they heard me say. And, I'm painting this picture for you because I'm helping you to understand what to expect in this show. This show, it's about me. It's about my life at the end of the day. This show is about me being a dad. This show is about me. I'm black, and, despite what people say or people sometimes think of each other, that's never going to change. Like, there's nothing that we could ever do for that to change. So, and I say that because I'm also, and my wife is white, and that's despite what people say, it's still a very big deal. I mean, we still get mean mugs and things like that, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about balancing work life. We're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about some serious stuff and some not so serious stuff. I don't want to be a drag. I'm serious. Like, I don't want to waste my time getting on here saying, well, somebody else got shot, which, by the way, is pretty sad. It is like, but that's well, we're going to talk about that. Don't worry about it. But we're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about um, just life and the adventures in being, and that's where the title of this came from. Mixed Modern Family: My Adventures in Adulting. It's because this is my life in being an adult. So, do I do everything right? No, I don't. This show is going to be a good mix. Don't you worry your little heart. You won't hear my voice all the time. I don't want to hear my voice all the time. You're going to hear a mix of me as well as some guests. I do have a dream. I have a dream of having some superstars on my show. I'm saying it here. Don't hate. If you don't like them, I don't care. I love them. I want to have Barack Obama on my show. I would love to have Jamie Foxx on the show, but I don't. Sure, good luck with that. I would love to have some experts in their field, experts in their opinion. But more so, I just want to talk to normal people. Why do I want to talk to normal people? Because I feel like when you're listening to the radio, when you're listening to these media outlets, they don't have Joe and Jane. But on the other hand, I know that there are people like me in this world who just don't feel like their voice is represented. I know there are people in this world who are both frustrated with the lives that are being lost at the hands of police officers, both at the same time respect that we need police. I know there are people that are going through the struggles of dealing with the mortgages and dealing with balancing their finances. And I know there are folks who are dealing with their relationship and the changes that comes with kids and how every kid changes the dynamics of your relationship. I mean, I went out with my wife to see a concert last night, and it had just dawned on me that I don't really date my wife much anymore. And it was just an epiphany because I'm like, I see her all the time. I sleep in the same bed with her. You know, we try and do the married thing, you know, in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, I don't think I really date my wife anymore. And I don't even know if we had a capacity to date each other anymore. And it's not because I don't love her or I don't like her or I don't want to date her. It's just because we get so consumed with our life. So, you know, I want to talk about how to deal with these things. And I want to make you laugh a little bit. So I'm going to have some guests on. Don't worry. I don't plan on doing a monologue. To be quite honest with you, monologues are very hard, especially to get good content. Because, first of all, we all have 10-second attention spans. I mean, think about it. Snapchat, Facebook. Honestly, I can't even stand commercials anymore. When I watch a show and I can't fast forward through the commercials, I am literally pulling out my hair, which I don't have any of. So I want you to just enjoy this ride with me, and know that as we go on it, it's going to be fun. There are going to be some bumps in the road, but we're going to talk about just some fun topics. We're going to talk about some not so fun topics. So this, you know, and if you can't tell, I'm trying to organize my thoughts here because I wrote some things down. But, you know, I got to fly off the cuff a little bit. One of the things that I did write down is that I want to have conversations with people. I want to encourage people to see others' perspective, and I want to see others' perspective. And I think that will be a cornerstone of this show. I don't ever want to point you in a direction, although I will tell you how I feel, but I don't want how I feel I don't believe that how I feel should be how you feel, but what I do is I want us to learn from each other because I want to understand why you feel the way you do. But I also want to create a space where you can understand how I feel. So we want to keep that balance and keep it all together. So these episodes, they will be a lot longer going forward. I just want to introduce you to myself at Mixed Modern Family. My Adventures in Adulting. I think in the long run we'll change that title up and make it a little bit shorter. But thank you for listening. And I look forward to taking his magical carpet ride. I don't know why I call it a magical carpet ride. We're just going to talk. We're going to do something that I feel like people really don't do nowadays much, is just talk. And it's okay to disagree, and it's okay to agree. But more important, it's okay just to be. So with that, welcome to the show, and I look forward to doing it, and I hope that it helps you or makes your day a little bit better.
Hey, and thanks for listening again to Mixed Modern Family. We want you to get involved with the show, so please reach out to us at Twitter via Mixed Modern Fam and Instagram under the same handle. You can also let us know if you have some topics or give us any feedback you have with the hashtag MMFam. Again, that's hashtag MMFam. Let us know what you think and come be a part of the family.